am Nisha Charles.
And I am Desmond Joseph.
And we are your presenters for today. Thank you for joining us for SAT TV News. Among the major developments, one Dominican is seeking the public's cooperation in raising the age of consent.
Gold bars from Curacao seized in Puerto Rico.
India says Pakistan beheaded Kashmir soldier.
And in sports, Derbyshire has signed the world #2 Test batsman Shivnarine Chandapal.
Details of these and other stories after the break.
Thank you for staying with us. Now for the details of the news. Born of Dominican heritage, 21-year-old Aniska Titong is the Virgin Islands representative for the 2013 Miss America pageant being held at the Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada on January 12th. After winning the local competition in the summer, she will now challenge 52 other young women from across the United States, Puerto Rico, and Hawaii for the coveted title of Miss America 2013. According to Ms. Tong, the decision to participate in the Miss America pageant stems from her desire to establish a foundation as a role model for other young women, mainly those with low self-esteem. She is very proud of her Dominican heritage, which comes from the village of Marigot, the birthplace of her parents. From a tender age, she has had the privilege of spending many summers on the island, enjoying and absorbing the island's rich history and culture. According to her, the connection with her unique heritage has been instrumental in shaping her into the determined and confident young woman she is today. After graduating from the Charlotte Amalia High School on St. Thomas, she attended the University of South Florida, where she earned a degree in psychology. Her future ambition is to pursue doctoral studies in psychology and serving her people both in Dominica and in the Virgin Islands as a counselor. According to Ms. Tong, her immediate goal is to make her people proud by becoming the next Miss America. However, to achieve that, the support of all is required in voting for a video presentation on the Miss America website. Individuals can vote by visiting Miss America website at www.missamerica.org/video contest or through the Miss America Facebook page under the Video Contest tab. Voting ends on January 10, 2013. And in more news, Roseau resident Mr. Marcus Boyd can count himself lucky as he almost lost his life in an unexpected incident on Monday, January 7, 2013. He informed SAT TV News that while walking on Hillsborough Street in Roseau in the easterly direction, out of the blue, a piece of wood from the unstable building fell and almost struck him in his head.
It was just only God that was looking after me, and I was putting his hands on me because it wasn't that nobody would compensate me. I would be lying down at my home with a big bill said, who knows, I'll get unconscious on the road and I would not know who's the owner of the property and whatever and so on. So I think the authorities and the government authorities need to look into that very serious, because who knows, somebody else could face that same penalty and not escaping like me myself.
The building is on the opposite side of the ministerial building, and Mr. Boyd says that something needs to be done about this situation as soon as possible. He also stated that the house is not in a fit condition, so there is no reason why it should be present if it is of danger to the society.
It's a wooden structure with a concrete structure foundation, and then the on top is not good. It's just totally not good, and this building need to get rid of. Whoever is the owner need to do something about it to save the safety of give the public proper safety, so that they don't reach to a point where somebody will have to take them to task, or they would have to reach to court with that matter. Because somebody getting hurt from that old building there, somebody has to pay the price of the person lost of use, lying on their home being hurt from something that they don't expect to get damaged by.
He explained that those who witnessed the incident were appalled that the building has not been demolished to this date. Mr. Boyd is extremely upset about the incident and stated that he will be taking the matter to higher authorities. He is also cautioning the public to be careful when walking near that building.
And there was a gentleman on the other side of the road. So when it happened, and then he told me, boy, he was a lucky fella, because if it was just like one step later, that would have hurt you, and then what would become of you?
Okay, so lastly and not least, what's your next step now? What are you going to do about this?
Well, I would have to go to either the housing department people and the government authorities. Let them come and have a look at the building, so that they would have to see exactly what I'm talking about, because it's not only for myself I'm talking for the general public.
One Dominican is on a strong drive to have the age of consent increased from 16 to 18. Gender advocate Mrs. Delia Coffee Weeks says she came up with this idea after the scandal which followed the posting of two young girls engaging in pornographic activity on the internet. Mrs. Weeks stated as she is a concerned citizen, she could no longer sit idle because something new needed to be done, as most people would say the young people will do what they want while they should be trying to help them.
The social media was used to degrade the young people. So let us use the social media for good. So I know a lot of people are on Facebook. In fact, the pornographic material was distributed for some time on Facebook. So I decided, let us use Facebook. And one of the easiest ways of getting people to show their support for a cause like that is to create a special activity. So I created a cause where we're asking for the age of consent to be moved from the age of 16 to 18, and people have the ability to show their support by signing the petition and by sharing it with their friends and their contacts.
In an effort to get a significant number of signatures, she said her target is 50,000, as this is the estimated number of Dominicans of the age eligible for voting. However, this petition is not restricted to Dominicans, as the petition is available on the internet and can be signed by anyone who agrees that the age of consent should be increased.
I give myself enough time, so I have up to the 25th of November, which is the International Day to Reject Violence Against Women and Girls, when that petition will be handed to the Prime Minister of Dominica. I am hoping to collect at least 50,000 signatures to indicate that it's not just one old fuddy-duddy woman who doesn't want young people to have fun, but a collection of concerned, mature individuals who are looking out for the future of our nation. And so we are attempting to collect at least 50,000 signatures requesting that the age of consent be moved from 16 to 18, because logically most of the things that would mark you as an adult you can only do at the age of 18.
She added to own a driver's license, one must be 18. To get a social security ID number, one must be 18. To open an account at a financial institution, one must be 18. And to vote, one must be 18. So the age to give consent to sex should rightfully be 18. Mrs. Weeks added, if perchance a young girl gets pregnant while not thinking at such a young age, and the guy does not take responsibility, it is left to the young girl on her own to take care of this child that she is not ready for.
If you go to the hospital to have that child and you encounter difficulties in natural delivery and a cesarean section has to be performed to save your life and that of the baby, you at 16 years old who could say yes to sex cannot sign a consent form for the cesarean section to be performed on you. That is what the petition is about. It is not a standalone action, because changing the age of consent all on its own will not be the answer to the problem within our society. But it is a starting point, and I am hoping that other sensitive, mature Dominicans will come on board, join the fight, suggest ways that we can work together as a caring society.
She described the issue as a problem related to the Caribbean and said that it was one which needed the attention of the masses to be solved. The gender advocate says, if it is just one lone voice speaking to a parliamentarian or a minister, then they will not listen. However, she believes in strength in numbers and pointed out that if you have more than half of the population of Dominica signing the petition, then the politicians will be very insensitive to ignore it, because they are there to serve the people. Mrs. Weeks said that raising the age of consent does not stop a criminal from committing a crime. However, if there is no age limit, then no act can be criminalized. With the age of consent being raised to 18, she said, then we are telling our people that under that age, we will take up the responsibility for their actions.
Sadly, Larry, I will tell you that a lot of the people that we are fighting for do not even appreciate what is being done because they believe that we're just trying to kill their joy. We're just trying to prevent them from enjoying themselves. But that is not what it is. We have to understand, and this morning I got some information that a psychologist was saying that teenagers cannot process the act of sex. They cannot understand yet the ramifications of the act. So it means that we as a nation have a responsibility to protect our young ones against their own selves, because we have to admit that they do not know best.
He pointed out that we have the responsibility to protect our children and need to put the laws in place to do so and ensure justice is served and served swiftly when and if they are violated. This is her passionate cry, so concerned people can join her in signing the petition.
This is not my cause, Larry. This is a cause for the young people. And I am saying to you that if you're a person with a conscience, if you're an adult person, put yourself in the place of the mother or the sister or the brother of these young girls who have been exposed. If you put yourself in the place of those relatives and you're empathetic, then there is no way that you can sit idly by and say, I am not signing the petition.
The petition, which started on January 7, 2013, so far has 300 signatures to date and counting. And in more news, less than a month after the signing of an $18.1 million contract between the Dominican government and the Iceland drilling company for geothermal exploration, the project has been hit with controversy. The contract, which was signed on December 10, 2012, will see the drilling of 3 production wells in the Roseau Valley area, which includes Trafalgar, Wattenwaven, and Mont Prosper. On Monday, January 7th, residents of the Roseau Valley constituency conducted a meeting to express their concerns regarding the drilling of these wells. Among their concerns were the issues of water contamination, land spillage, volcano eruption, air emissions, and inhalation of hazardous fumes. One resident said he is not sure if the Dominican population knows of how far they are drilling into the earth, and reports are that they have drilled way below sea level, meaning that all of the things that are deep beneath the earth, and they are exposing it to their drinking water. Meanwhile, parliamentary representative for the constituency, Dr. Colin McIntyre, has said that the concerns of the residents will not be swept under the mat. Upon hearing the concerns of the people, Cabinet met on Tuesday to discuss the matter and are willing and have plans through the Ministry of Public Works to bring in a team, again of experts, to address the concerns of the people. Although some residents have indicated willingness to be relocated to another part of the island, people of Mont Prosper do not support the project. The goal of the Geothermal Project is for a reduction in the energy cost to citizens and to export energy to the neighboring islands of Martinique and Guadeloupe. The drilling work is expected to commence by June 2013. SAT-TV will bring you an update on the story in a subsequent newscast. And in more news, in an effort to break the barriers of discrimination and stigma against mentally ill patients, the Community Mental Health Team will be hosting its 12th annual Acute Psychiatric Unit concert on January 13, 2013. This is a flagship event that seeks to promote respect for persons with mental health problems in Dominica. And over the past years, local artists have joined patients and staff in exhibiting the talent prevalent among the mentally ill in our communities. Ward's sister and psychiatric nurse, Miss Iselin Francis, stated this is a perfect opportunity to showcase the patient's talented side.
There's one thing too that we bring out as nurses is that the patients will provide unconditional positive regard. This simply means that no matter what, the patient is a human being. Because of that, we incorporate them in all areas of activity, and it's our duty to incorporate them into society as much as this possible. So this is one of the events we think, or we believe that could really incorporate them and let people believe that these people are human beings and they need to be treated as such.
Ms. Francis stated since the inception of the show, they have been receiving tremendous support from public and business community, which they are appreciative of and would love to see this support continues. She says that this is one of the shows that ins and out patients look forward to, as it gives them a sense of belonging, seeing the public cheer them on and supporting them while they sing, recite poems, dance and tell jokes.
Although this is a government facility, we still have our individual little needs, in-house needs. For example, when the patients are admitted, they are discharged, we need funds to pay the bus fare and little things that we cannot get through the government. We are able to purchase stuff and keep the pace going.
Occupational therapist at the acute psychiatric unit, Ms. Sasta Green, pointed out that occupational therapy ties in perfectly with the concert, as it allows the patients to show the world their talents and skills, which helps them improve the quality of their lives. The unit currently has 15 patients, males, are the majority, and are faced with social and psychological issues besides their mental illnesses.
The families are the one that really make it happen. When we send them out, we must have the family support to ensure that they take their medication, to ensure that they come to clinic, to ensure that they follow what the counselor said to them, ensure that they follow what the occupational therapist said to them. So when the family is there supporting them, we do not see many readmissions of that particular patient.
Ms. Green stated that the goal of hosting this concert is to let Dominicans know that mentally ill patients are normal persons like everyone else. She said just like we suffer from illnesses such as hypertension and diabetes, the patients just suffer from a sickness of the mind with help can be dealt with. Calypsonians such as King Dice, Observer and Daddy Shells will perform with the patients, so this show will certainly be an exciting one that Dominicans will not want to miss.
They should attend the concert so that they can see that our patients have value, our patients are extremely creative, and our patients can make a difference.
The community mental health team sends a special thanks to you companies such as Digicel J's Limited, Greens Wholesale, and all media houses who are working with them to ensure the show is a success.
And in more news, a call is being made to make Carnival part of the tourism product. This came from the Minister for Tourism, Honorable Ian Douglas, at the launching of Carnival on January 7th. His vision is that our traditional costumes like the sensei can be preserved by displaying them at the ports of entry into Dominica.
On Ash Wednesday, it's like Carnival is shut down till the next year, and we should find a way to have Carnival as a tourism product throughout the year, display our sensei and the various forms of Carnival, even in the tourism season. Probably have a show at the Old Mill or anywhere else so that persons visiting Dominica can get to experience Carnival out of the Carnival season.
Events Director at the Dominica Festivals Committee made a call for the productive use of the Carnival Queen costumes. Mr. Douglas says we should also seek to preserve these costumes because the builders put a lot of effort and money into making them.
So much money goes into those costumes, and so much time and effort and energy and creativity that we need to find a way or somewhere, some place or some venue that we can preserve the costumes and we can recreate the Carnival experience as a tourism product. So I'm putting that out there so that we can give it some more thought. And so I call for the productive use of our Carnival Queen costumes throughout the year, and for these costumes to be displayed at various points of interest, at our ministries, at our points of entry, the airport, the seaport, other interesting places, the cabarets, the gardens, whatever and wherever we can display those costumes.
He says Carnival is not just for our personal enjoyment as Dominicans, but also for the visitors, and displaying Carnival should be used as a way of luring more people into Dominica.
Where in Dominica can a visitor easily view a sensei costume out of the Carnival season? A Suswell Sui costume, a Babwa costume. Or we need to find a way to have the photos and reproduce those photos and make some posters out of those photos. Videos, make videos that Discover Dominica can use when they go out there to different trade shows. Or some other graphic kind of displays, especially in years past. Because right now, if we speak about the Great Fire on Carnival, the Carnival fire that took place, if my memory serves me right, 1963 or thereabouts. Was it, Father? Yeah, I believe that a lot of the young persons who themselves enjoy carnival today know nothing about the carnival fire.
He says there needs to be a beginning of the collaborative effort as to how this can be achieved. This has been the local segment of the news. Coming up next, regional highlights.